I'm Ava Laura.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is Black Leave America podcast, where we highlight holistic wellness, travel, mental health, and self-care through traveling outside of America to reconnect and rediscover who you are. It's time for us to leave any condition that disrupts our peace. Black Women Leave America opens your eyes and explores new ways of living, but more importantly, new ways of being. Because sometimes you have to leave in order to find yourself. Hey everyone, welcome. This is Black Women Leave America podcast, the live edition. And we are continuing our review or reactions to Coming from America. So we're talking about episode 6. And we also have a really amazing announcement. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I'm your host, Ava Laura, and this is your other amazing host.
Hey, what's up? Jessica here. Super excited.
Like, what about drum? I don't have that.
No, that's not a drum. Anyway,
thank you.
That's not a drum. But yeah, I'm super excited about this one.
I am very, very excited. We have loved this show. We've broken down every single episode. So if you have missed them, make sure you go back. If you're like, what the heck are you talking about? Go back to the first show that we started talking about, Coming from America. So you know exactly what we're talking about. It's a show on Max featuring 4 couples who moved from America to Africa, 3 in Ghana and 1 in Zambia. And as you know, we talk about Black women leaving America to move abroad for peace of mind, better quality of life, self-care, better mental health, all the things. And so this was really exciting because we got to focus on families, right? A lot of times you all are asking about families. It's easier for single women to just, go and move abroad. But what is it like for families? So you get to see it in this show. So we're going to talk about it. So Jessica, let's get to talking about episode 6. What did you think about episode 6? We cannot hear you. You are muted.
Episode number 6 is pretty cool because of the fact that a lot of folks were saying exactly what we've heard over and over and over again on this podcast. I think each and every one of them said that this was just a life-changing experience that they don't think they would have had if they hadn't come to those different places, right, from America. So that was really cool to see that whole oh man, everybody's saying the same thing that we've already heard. So it was really that circle, moment of wow, yeah, it just really made me want to leave even more. So that was one part I took away from it, but there was so much that happened. What about you, Ava Laura?
Yeah, that's a really good point. Anytime we interview women on this show, one of the questions we ask is, do you want to come back to America? How has it been? You have any regrets or anything like that? And every single woman, literally 100%, has said they would do it all over again. And that's regardless of any problems that they've had, any setbacks, any challenges. They all said that they would do it again. So you're right. At the end of the episode, they asked the families about their experience, and they all said, like you said, it was a life-changing experience. It was amazing. They would hands down do it again. And so there is definitely something to be said about that. And, I think we've said this a lot, repetition for effect, and I'll say it again. If you are considering moving abroad, or even if you're just considering visiting, right? Or going to different countries, absolutely, hands down, do it. Do it. The question is not if you do it or not. The question is really more, how do you prepare? Right. And so this is the show that you watch to figure out how to prepare. What countries do you want to go to? Where do you want to visit? Where are great places for you to settle down? But do it. Everybody agrees. Listen, absolutely, it is a must. And so I think what was interesting in that, they all agree and they all have very different experiences. Honestly, I thought Julia, particularly kind of where she was before, may not want to stay, based on
Right.
her experience. And she's like,
Right.
I'm not liking this. This is really not resonating with me.
Right.
And what I love about that is she moved. She went somewhere different, and she was like, "This is my place. This is my people."
Right. And I do want to kind of go through, and I'll share a screen here just so we can kind of go through some of it, because there was one part that I found that was super like, oh wow. And so I want to talk about that a little bit. In the beginning, part of it where they were looking at a home in Africa, and
Okay, thank you. I wanted to talk about that too.
yeah, and they were like, it's gonna cost, what was it, like 3,000 a
No,
month,
5,000 a
five
month.
thousand a month.
I said, where in the what?
And I said, "Oh, okay, they think because they have a TV
They're
crew with
building it
them
up. They're building the neighborhood up. Being here in Ghana,
that, that they got money." I think that's what the place was
First
very
of all,
good.
now we don't do that here. And so here's what's interesting. And I was about to say something, but when we make the announcement, I can say something, right?
Right, right, right.
Because I got questions, right? First
Exactly.
of all, how you go to a place and you don't know how much it costs before you go? Because
Well,
I know,
yeah.
right? When we looking for places, we already know
But then this
what.
is different though. This is a
Right.
different
So
country.
I'm wondering
So
about the process there, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
how do you know if you can afford it if nobody's telling you how much it is,
yeah, yeah. And so
right?
this place, so we'll watch a little bit of this because this place was really nice. So we'll play a little bit of that.
has
People
really
are looking up
helped with our
here.
relationship. It's given us a really stronger connection. Good morning. So Gerald and I are putting our faith in this relationship, and we're starting to look for a long-term rental property. Ghana is finally starting to feel like home. I like it already.
Property in Ghana is different than America. In Ghana, you don't need no credit check. So I said, man, no credit check, no past rental history?
I love this.
Hell yeah.
Look, how many people are like, oh, for real?
Look, me and my husband was like, "Oh, for real? No credit check, and you don't need to check my past rental." We don't have that. Our rental history is
So
actually
I
pretty
have
good.
questions because like I said, I know people who live abroad, right? I know people who have bought land, who have homes, but then also too, have rented, right? Matter of fact, Sawita, who we interviewed, she was a digital nomad. We interviewed maybe a year or two ago. She is actually now moving to Ghana. She decided that Ghana was going to be home. So I'm like, we got to do an update and talk to
Yes,
her
we do. Yes, we
again
do.
to find out about Ghana. But one of the things that I've heard about Africa, specifically about Nigeria, I don't know if this is true for Ghana, is that they may not do the credit checks and all of that, but you have to pay for rent like a year in advance. So you have to have upfront money.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering how they do it here in Ghana. So it's not necessarily better because you got to come out your
Like,
pockets.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Wow,
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
Mm. Something to consider there,
Something to
right?
consider.
Something to
Yes.
consider. So yeah, okay. So they went and they looked at the homes and they kind of
Here in Ghana. But this lady done dropped $5,000 on us. She must have thought we were rich or something. Come to find out, all the houses here are like that. All right, you ready?
Thank you for coming.
Our first comedy show is tomorrow night.
so I loved her reaction because I was like, yeah, that's absolutely how I would have reacted. Like, oh, okay.
Listen, she was like, "Oh, American money,
Yeah, yeah. She was like,
money."
oh,
You
okay,
know,
thank you.
that's how they look at us. Like they could afford this.
Yeah.
And look, and it might have been $3,000, and then she just said 5.
But that's another thing too. Are we talking US dollars?
She said, "Are we talking US?"
Or can we just saying we need to clarify here?
So
Is this
that's the
euro?
thing about Africa, right? Like, which is why, as much as I love Africa, like if I moved abroad, it probably would not be to Africa. Now, I would definitely visit, unless it's like South Africa. But Africa, West Africa is pretty expensive. Like, it's not. You're not gonna go there and it's going to be cheaper some places, but for if you want to live the same quality of life that you're living here in America, but you're going to come out your money. Now if you're going to, you know, Thailand, Mexico, Bali, India, you know, there's a lot of places that quality of life, it is so much cheaper. But Africa, mm, most parts not. South Africa is pretty good. But yeah, what I've heard about West Africa, yes, it's money. I don't think that I can afford West Africa.
Yeah, so wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We probably could do a whole show, I'm sure. And maybe that will be one of ours. So drop the comment down in the comment section if you want us to do a show around the cost of living in these different places. We've done some shorter segments on it before, but if you guys want a full video dedicated to like different regions and or different countries, I should say, and what the cost is around in that area, then definitely we can do that. So just drop cost down in the comment section and we'll know, and we'll put that on our list of videos to produce. So segue into the next point. I know that there was a comedy show that the Kellys did, and that comedy show was hilarious.
So I think what was interesting about it, right? The buildup of it was, is American humor going to translate, right, in front of this African audience? Now, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, for real, pretty much every place, but let me just say most, just for the fact that maybe not every place is familiar with American culture, right? Like, we dominate, especially Black American culture, you know, hip hop, celebrities, and, you know, sports and all of that. So for the most part, they're kind of familiar with our humor. You know, you think they're not following Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle and, you know, Kevin Hart and Chris Rock or whatever, you know. So but they did kind of build that up, right? And it seemed like, and I don't know if you had that clip, like when they first started, it was crickets up in there. They wasn't really getting no laughs. I mean, now, what's that? Mrs. Kelly, she did her thing. Okay, she came to play the shoes. Yes, we were all looking at the shoes. She had the shoes, the outfit. So, you know, women, we gonna vibe off of the outfit. Yes, you look fly, so we're gonna love that. But the men, I don't know. In the beginning, they was holding it down. They did not do their part.
So we're going to jump around in the episode a little bit. This isn't exactly how the episode went, but we're just going to go off of our basic topics and how it comes together with each family. So yeah, this is the part, I believe, where she kind of shows her outfit.
Yeah, years all over the world. And the pressure of doing a comedy is high because we put the standard high. We set the bar high, but we know what we have and who we are. Let's bless this and have a beautiful night. Y'all ready? In the name we pray. Amen. Let's go.
We have, you know, a little bit.
And they were competing with the game. That was the thing.
Now we heard, I don't know, y'all might be a tough crowd. We're gonna see how these jokes are gonna work. And you let us know. Look, she like, okay, miss. I'm gonna look you up and down and see. I know what you're looking at though. You're looking at these. Yeah. This is from America. Yeah. No, but this is from Ghana. Yeah, so I'm bringing it all together. With that being said, I'd like to bring up
So yeah, that was her little part there, and I thought that was really cute. And yes, the shoes were fire.
Listen, she set the tone. She warmed them up, and then
the suns went up, and it was so. I thought that was cute though. So the older son was like, you know, he was like, I'm trying to figure it out. I thought it was cute.
Now, here's the thing, and I don't know how they prepare, right? I don't know. But he was like, he didn't really prepare for it. And I'm like, son, sir, I know as a speaker, you can't go up no place cold, especially when you don't know the audience.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you don't know, like, because you know, speakers just like comedians in that sense, right? Where you have the same material, but maybe how you deliver the material is going to be different based on the audience, right? And so part of your job is the energy. Like you got to feel out the energy, the audience, like what's the vibe, how does that translate into what you're going to be doing? And his first thing was like, he ain't really prepared. And I was like, how did you think you were going to get up here and crush it and you ain't prepared? And this is a new to you audience. Mistake 101.
Yeah, but this is the way you learn, right? And so I laughed through it because believe me, bro, I don't know, but I felt your pain. I have been there, okay?
It is nothing worse than being on stage and you talking and you think you doing a dang thing. And people just staring at you, no reaction.
I'm
just
good.
staring.
We gonna rock this. And I got up there and I did not indeed rock that.
It's not easy. It is not easy. I know that great performers make it look easy, but it's not easy.
It's not. It is not. It is a task. But then you saw how and the older son seemed like he kind of jumped right in.
Well. And of course, little Hunter Kelly
kind of took the show, right? Which I was saying, and I don't know if it's true, but I don't know what kind of brothers they are. But I was like, if that was my brother, I would have punched him.
But what was funny?
Look, I bomb, you bomb, bro. Okay, we bomb together.
Right? He was like, I'm liking it here now, but no, his set was funny.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Said, I mean, he was like, I'm doing the same job.
Yeah, that
as my father and my brother.
I think Dad may have given him that joke, but that was a really good joke.
It was hilarious. Look,
that was
Hunter killed it.
He did. And like I said, the older brother killed it as well. And it looked like Dad was also, kind of getting a bunch of laughs too. So that was cool to see them kind of pull it all together, and just a whole little comedy family.
To call them, ain't this the dumbest?
I love that. Listen, be like the Wayne, okay? Like that's how you're supposed to do it again, right? We talk a lot about community, going back to community. One gets in the door, everybody coming in. That's how we're supposed to do it. I think that's one of the things that we are still lacking. We don't support each other like we used to. No. And so people gatekeeping now. Like you're supposed to let people in. Like before we started the show, I just talked about a conversation that I had with a woman who is doing phenomenal things. And she's not gatekeeping. She was like, listen here, Ava Laura, you need to do bop, 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 bop. Right. And that's what we're supposed to do. Like we need to support each other.
Right. I have a dig on that, but I'm not going to go into it. Okay. So because I also feel like there's a need for also too, if you aren't willing to put in the work to go and do your Googles, then you need to pay for information. And there's a ton of books on Amazon. I ain't saying you got to pay a lot, but you can go get a $5 book and learn some steps. So anyway, that's all I got to say on that. I done had too many people hit me up. Put me on, let me know.
So okay, I understand because I've had money. Too. Right. I know. No, I've had that too. And it's not for everyone. Let's be clear. It's not for everyone. Yeah. Right. But that's where discernment. You have to discern like who you put on. Because here you don't want to put on people that are not going to represent you well either.
That part.
So I'm not going to be like, oh, I referred so-and-so and they're trash. We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Or who told me about you? Jessica. Oh no, you will not. no.
Because like in this instance, we talk about family. Like if family is not going to support each other.
Family. I'm not talking about family. I'm absolutely not talking about family. But like I said, you build equity in your brand, right? Yeah. And so when you build that equity in your brand, you also have to take that into consideration. Like I can't just be out here giving you, 4 and 5 pieces. And what I'm saying? I gave you a 1 piece. You ain't even took that and ate it. Like, come on now. Like, why did I bring chicken into this? I don't know. Anyway. Okay. So next up, the segue of And so that was the Kellys. They did decide that they were going to move back to New York. And
that was interesting.
what did you think about that?
So yeah, so she actually said, she was like, "Look at here, we ain't got the money to stay here. This is more expensive than we thought. So we're gonna go back to New York. We're gonna stack our bread." I think they had a tour already scheduled as well, and then they were gonna come back to Ghana. So I want to know if they actually went back to Ghana and what happened with that.
Yeah, that's gonna be, yeah. All right, so that's the Kellys, right? Next up, we had Julia, who, let me go ahead and pull her up here. Julia, who, like you said, she was in a place that she didn't like so much, but then ended up finding a place that she loved, which was more in a rural area. But then her kids also liked it too.
Right, I was surprised.
Amazing. I was like, wow. And they did an activity. Was that activity?
And what I wasn't sure, I was like, one, I hope they really like it, right? I didn't know if they really actually liked it or if they were like, my mom likes it, so we like it too. Because it's important to her how we feel about it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was really surprised because, I mean, they're young and I wasn't sure what was going on with the electricity and stuff there. You know, I mean, they're actually out in nature.
Right.
They're not at home on the iPad or playing video games, you know?
Right. So
to me to hear their feedback because their opinion matters. And I can't force my kids to move anywhere permanently that they're not going to be happy.
It feels like camp.
It does, right?
Family camp.
Yeah.
We always wanted to go camping, remember?
Yeah. But it's cool over here.
You guys look more free over here.
It's more calming.
Like, how do you guys feel about staying? Be honest, you know?
I like it.
You like it? Yeah. That makes me happy because, to be honest, I didn't know exactly how you guys were gonna feel. If you had a choice on where to live, would you live in Accra or would you live here?
Here.
Why?
It's just a feeling here. It's like way better than Accra. I like being around all of this nature.
I'm glad to hear that you guys like it. How about?
All right, that was so cute. I thought that was really cool, and I was like, "Oh, I want to go take my sons and make them walk across a bridge together." Oh, maybe I'll go find one.
Like healer community, and so it's interesting. So you're seeing, you know, all the different ways that they live in Africa too, right? So you're seeing like the Cali's like traditional home in Accra, and then you're seeing her now talking about like buying land and having a compound. And a lot of Africans live like that as well too. So I would have loved to have seen. So I'm wondering, you know, again, follow up what she does if she buys the land, if she builds the compound, what it looks like, because it was a lot of land that she was talking about. I guess she was talking about having her home and then a wellness center as well there. So yeah, she got the whole built-in community there. They were like a family.
And so next up we have the Smileys, who maybe I'm gonna pull them up.
Yeah, they were first. So remember last week I said I wanted to see more about her mother and talking about some of the difference between or the similarities between Jamaica and Africa. And they did that this week.
Yeah, they did. They did. When I was watching it, I was like, oh, see, they answered a little bit of Abel's questions there.
The first line I wanted to show you.
Oh,
is just
I'm
here.
back to the other one. My bad.
Her being amazed at the jackfruit and her chewing the cinnamon and knowing the cloves. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so happy I'm here too. After suffering that long trip, it's fun.
It's fun now.
Yeah.
Now that was really cool. The fact that her mom finally came out, and I just thought that I loved everything about that. You know, the mother-daughter bond. It was so cute.
Yeah, no, it was great. And the whole thing was she was concerned about telling her mom that she would be staying for an additional 2 years. Because his contract was renewed, and you know, they told her, and she was fine. I mean, you know, she took it with stride. I mean, they and you know, and what I loved is that it's basically showing us like they're thriving, right?
Right.
We actually we're thriving here, and you know, we really want to stay, but we are concerned about our family. And so I'm glad that her family was supportive, because how many times, right, do people not do the things that they really want to do because of their friends or the family people in their lives, and so they just give up on it.
Right. Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm glad her family stepped up and they were supportive. And so Jessica, you were talking a lot about her job, right?
Oh yeah. And so we heard back that she was like, yeah, no on that one. Well, she didn't really necessarily say that. But I'm guessing from the episode that was what took place. So it was really cool to kind of see her also too. Like she said, she literally was just out and about at a market, and someone heard her speak, and she heard another American speak, and they're like, oh, and she hooked her up. But back to your point earlier, right? That kind of hookup is fine. That kind of connection and let's help each other out. That's what I call no gatekeeping. That right there. Where it becomes obsessive with that word, because I hate that word. It's used all over TikTok all the time. I can't stand it. I hate that word. It's where it's like little stuff where you can literally go to Google or chat GPT it up that you're like, are you gatekeeping? Like, no, girl. If you go to ChatGPT right now, there is a feature, sidebar, there's a feature on what is this thing? WhatsApp, okay, on Meta. You can literally go and speak the words and have a conversation with their AI, and it will tell you everything you want to know.
Yeah.
Y'all stop it. That's not gatekeeping. Okay. So anyway. So I love the fact she was able to see how deeply I get into that topic. So I love the fact she was able to make that connection, and she was just like, yeah, I think we got something for you. And it was just like, boom, boom, boom. I love that. That was amazing. I was like, yes, yes, and yes.
Yeah. So in alignment with her skill set.
Right. That part. We'll leave that alone, but that part. Oh my goodness. So then, yeah, so that happened. What else was there with the smileys? That was about it for
that was the biggest thing, that they're definitely saying they got the extension. Yeah, and she got a job. And another thing, and we talked about this, you know, again, if you haven't, you know, watched a lot of our interviews, please go back and watch them. I mean, a lot of really, really dynamic women and amazing information. But particularly, I remember Wendy talking about this in Dubai, right? How what's interesting is when you're in America, right? And there's a lot that I can say about this, but when you're in America, it doesn't seem to matter how educated you are, right? How much you know, how qualified you are. You have to know people to get into certain doors, right? You're American, but you have no American privilege. When you go abroad, that's where you get to use your American privilege. So now, because you're American, you get into doors that you would not necessarily get into otherwise. So when that happened, that's very much in alignment with which a lot of the women that we've talked about have had. I remember Wendy talking about living in Dubai and just getting these contracts. She's American. She had, you know, they liked her. And they were like, oh, you do this? Okay, great. We're gonna give you a contract. She didn't have to go through all of these things that we would have to go through here. They just did it. Right. And so those, a lot of times you can get more opportunities available to you when you are living abroad, being America. You get to use your privilege.
Right. Which we usually don't have that upper hand to do, right? But now it's like we get that upper hand to do. And so I want to play the last little piece of the video here, of the episodes here.
Oh, what about Io and Tony?
Yeah, so this episode, I've kind of just scanned through it. Didn't have a lot with them.
They were like last episode, heavy emphasis. Yeah,
Episode 5 kind of tied up their story a bit more. But in this last little segment piece, it does kind of give an overview of all the different families. So I just want to play a little bit of that.
Just being in a motherland.
Ghana has taught me that I'm a queen. Yes. Obatume. Woman is power.
Just adjusting and leaving your life behind is hard. I was the apprehensive one before we moved here. I was worried about all the things that I was giving up, but I didn't realize how many things I would gain.
What does the future hold for us, the Smileys in Africa? We're looking at maybe getting a farm, maybe investing in a company.
Our future here in Ghana is looking very promising. From going to open up my wellness center to building stronger friendships and partnerships. Hey, Joshua.
What the future holds for me and my family in Ghana, I see a beautiful relationship between me and my wife. I see us being able to go back to America and bring our other children here.
And for us to have a successful comedy business touring all over Africa.
Africa is family, extended. It's not by blood, it's really by spirit, and that's what you feel living in Africa.
Where do you really come from? You can't explain how profound that experience can be for someone. There's something that takes you beyond where you thought you started, where you thought you were.
I really like it here. Like, I was surprised.
I love it here. I love it here. It's home.
To me, this is home.
Not only does this feel like home, this is home.
All right, so
I love the matching outfits.
I
loved it.
I do too. Thought that was so cute. So that was a spoiler. If you hadn't seen the end, now you did.
You can go back and watch
But
it.
yeah, you definitely should watch all of the episodes. The things that I'm seeing online are really positive, and everybody's loving the show so far from the things that I've seen online, and we absolutely loved it as well. So do we want to give our special announcement?
Yes, drum roll, please. I don't have.
Yeah, I got a whole sound machine and didn't have it connected, but okay.
I need to get my 10-year-old who's playing the drums.
Hold on, I think I got. Let me see. What do I have? Do I have? Nope, I ain't got none. That's all I got.
That's horrible.
Unless you want some rock and roll.
Oh no.
All right, so Aurora.
Oh my goodness. All right. She's still trying. What you trying to do? Seduce us?
You're supposed to say, so here's the announcement. It was supposed to have some nice little background.
That's not it.
Never mind.
Oh my God. Anyway, okay. Back to the point. So we are really excited to announce that over the next couple of weeks, we will be interviewing the cast of Coming from America. So we're going to have, did we decide who we have coming on? I think we're going to have the Smileys and the Kellys. And we'll see if we can get Ayo and Tony on here too. But we're really, really excited about that. So remember, we kept saying, especially me, I got questions. Listen, I have questions that are not being answered in the show. Now we get to ask those questions. So if you have questions, let us know. So we will make sure that we will ask those questions for you. Put those questions in the comments. We will make sure that they get asked and addressed. And we are so excited because we really love this show. We are all about just positive, Black stories being told. And so we're thrilled that we'll get to sit down and talk to them and get all the tea.
So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video. It just helps us inside of the YouTube universe in order for our video to get up there. Definitely, you know, you always hear comment and you're like, well, what am I supposed to comment? So I want you to comment more. If you like this type of content, just go ahead and comment more. That way we know, keep on going, keep it moving. What's the song? I was going to sing a song, Keep On Going. I can't think of one.
Keep on
anyway.
moving, don't stop. No.
There we go. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Okay. Yeah. So that always makes me think of house party. But anyway, so yes, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Black Women Leave America, the live edition, where we're also reviewing Coming From America on Max. We will see you guys next week. Once again, we'll have, we should have. I'm not going to say it. We're going to say we're working on it. We're getting it together, but we will in the future have interviews for sure. So definitely stay tuned, and we will see you all in the next episode.
Peace.